This one's a little bit more delicate.
It's got the techno remix. Okay. Nobody's in yet.
Yep. Here, let me retweet it.
There we got one. All right. So, still nobody in here. There's one. There's zero. It's us.
All right, I just retweeted it. Let's see what's going on here. All right.
You want to jump this thing off? Let's do it.
Let's do it. I think we start at the Stadio Atleti Azzurri d'Italia here, where Atalanta are hosting Valencia. And actually, is it even at that stadium though? Because it's at the San Siro.
It's at San Siro.
It's at the San Siro, unfortunately.
Yep.
But Cody, in this match, we are seeing now some serious line movement. When I did a podcast with Alex here just about a week ago, where you saw Atalanta at minus 112. Now it is up to over north of 180 here. Very interesting movement here. I think it's almost starting to maybe really give some value to Valencia.
Yeah. Yep. And I think the reason for that really is the injuries to Valencia. Pretty much what I stated the other day for the lineups is exactly what we're getting. Biggest absence is no Rodrigo. Without him, their goals are tough to find. Atalanta is the only way you can look today, in my opinion. If you're taking a stab on Valencia, you're going to be hurting on that one. I took the squid special, both teams to score, Atalanta to win at plus 230 just a couple days ago on the podcast. What was that? 3 days ago, Monday, something like that. And it's at plus 195. And still a good shout. I think Valencia will get their goal. You do have Guedes in the lineup playing it forward. He's a very good goal scorer. If he gets a good look, he can bury it inside the box. I think they will get their goal. Atalanta is going to run riot here. Like I thought, too, Diakabi and Mangala are going to be the two center halves for Valencia. No Paulista, no good Lord. Ezekiel Garay. No, they're both out of the lineup, which is an issue. Florenzi is also absent. Francis Coquelin's absent. They are missing their two central defensive midfielders and two center halves in this match, and a fullback. It's going to be a riot. You could look at Valencia first half as well. I was taking a look at that earlier. I'll have to pull up the updated odds, but I think it's there's a plus price yesterday on it, and now it's like minus. Let me take a look. Sorry, folks. But that's really the only way you can look. I have it on my book at first half money line. Yeah, plus 108. It's still at a plus price. I think that's a good shout as well if you're going to go somewhere with this match, because I think they will get an early lead. They do score early, and their forwards, they're coming out. No Zapata, which I thought they would have. They're going to go with the front two of Ilicic and Gomez. I like Gomez behind the strikers, but Pasalic is also a good distributor. I see goals. What about you? Any looks?
I think that the one thing, just to be clear, if you're watching Atalanta Valencia, the player for me to really focus on is the number 10 for Atalanta, Papu Gomez. He reminds me a lot of Giovinco back in the day, just a very short but low center of gravity player, great dribbler, great vision, and that is a dynamic front three. You have Darun in midfield for Atalanta, pretty solid Dutch lad there. All of the numbers give Atalanta here. They're the number one team in Italy based on all of the XGs. How all the stats kind of compile up. Atalanta is number one despite where they are in the standings here. And you're seeing the line movement based on that. I mean, this isn't even a home match. This is crazy, this kind of movement.
Yeah, and Matt, not to interrupt you, but it's not even close. They're 175 miles from their home stadium. It's not even close to a home match.
Yeah.
And they struggled there in the group stages at home. They struggled there mightily in the group stages. So that their home factor is gone. They will fill it up, I would assume, with a home crowd. I mean, it's still the Champions League, but you're right.
Yep. And then, I mean, when you look on the flip side here, a solid midfield, just a very senior midfield in Kondogbia and Parejo. We know that those guys are, I mean, Kondogbia is world class, arguably. And, you know, you've got Guedes up top paired with Maxi Gomez. That's interesting. But yes, their back line, they're giving up tons of chances, Valencia, over the last few weeks. They're coming into this in poor form for sure. But man, this kind of movement is a little bit out of hand for me.
And also looking at Valencia, they're with no Florenzi. I thought Florenzi would be playing. I know his fitness was an issue, but they're having to move Daniel Voss, the Danish midfielder, attacking midfielder usually, into the fullback position. I mean, it's not looking good. I mean, and again, if you look at their past few matches, they gave up 2 goals to Granada, 3 goals to Getafe, and another 2 goals to Atletico Madrid. Their defense in the past few matches has been horrific, and it's even worse today without Gabriel Paulista on the red card. So it's
exactly
it's about as worst. It's about the worst matchup they could get for an offensive team with Valencia. I mean, they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
We're going to really find out about the Spanish league here today because, I mean, Atleti pulled off a pretty nice shocker yesterday on Liverpool. Maybe this league is still really up at the tip top of where it's, you know, been over the last decade. We're going to find out with this mixed in Valencia side here today. Can they keep it tight and stay close in this game for a while? You know, the halftime draw in any of these kind of matches is interesting to me when you get towards this knockout style, especially in the first leg. Just like when we, you know, get ready for Euro 2020, Cody, I know that a staple play for me is going to be first half draws. I remember back in the World Cup, the last World Cup, first half draws were hitting at a ridiculous rate. And when you get in these type of knockout competitions where, you know, it's a big deal here, you know, some players play tighter. There's not as much fluidity, especially when you in that first 45.
Yeah, you're feeling out the game for 20 minutes of the half.
Yeah, you're feeling out an opponent from another country that you've never played before. So it's just different.
Yeah, and the flip side, though, what you also see is what you got yesterday where you can see a quick goal because the other team's kind of on their heels trying to feel that game out. And if you put it on them early and get that quick goal, you don't give the other team an opportunity to feel the game out. You could also see that here in this match, in my opinion, one way or the other. There's going to be goals in this one, folks.
Yeah,
there will be goals.
So just for me, official play, I released it yesterday on Twitter. Atalanta -140. You know, I was still even late to the party. I can't even recommend that play. If you have anything over 150, I would probably lay off this game. I think that the value is completely gone. I think the over value is now gone. So if you're arriving late to this party, it just shows you that you've got to be early here. I should have locked this one in last week at -110 and just kind of waited to see what was I even waiting for? So, but I've got Atalanta in this home match and I've got Atalanta to go through. That one was -130. Now I'm seeing at 5 dimes right now. It's like -170 for Atalanta to go through. This right when the draw happened, Atalanta were the underdog. So a lot of money is coming in on Atalanta, and we'll find out if it's rightly so or not.
No, you're right. It's just a dip in form from Valencia compacted with their injuries. That's where you're seeing the money come from. Yeah, in my play again, half unit, both teams to score, and Atalanta to win the match. And we can move on to the other match of the day, the more intriguing one, in my opinion, as I'm sure everybody else will agree with, and it's Tottenham Hotspur hosting RB Leipzig at Tottenham Stadium. Lineups just came out for this one. Do you have any thoughts about it before we get going on that?
I was surprised to see no Ndombele for Tottenham. Very, very surprising that Mourinho's going with the youngster Fernandes. Obviously just came over from Portugal, but My gosh. I mean, this match just got so out of whack for me. I just want to make it clear. So we had a podcast a couple days ago, and I released Tottenham at 2 units. This was my best bet of this week's matches at a draw no bet. And that night goes on. I wake up in the morning and I find out that Son, broken arm, out now for probably the season. I immediately logged onto my book and I took the pick'em the other way. So I had pick'em Tottenham minus 129. And then in the morning, I got Leipzig at like a minus 115 for a pick'em. So I'm going to probably lose a little bit on juice here, but I'm more than fine with that because I do think that Son is such a big deal here. That miss for me, I mean, he's their best player, no questions asked on this side. And especially with no Harry Kane leading the line, they're going to play Lo Celso, or it's either going to be Lo Celso playing over on right wing, or it could be Fernandez. We're going to find out. But
yeah,
my gosh. And then you have on the flip side, Leipzig with what we talked about. This was the reasoning for my play. They are just struggling at the back line, kind of like Valencia. When you don't have an Upamecano or whatever, Upamecano, he's the best defender in Germany. We talked about this, Cody, a few nights ago. That is a big deal. They're starting Ethan Mpadu, the former Chelsea player. He was a career mode legend for me on the old FIFA days at very young age. It's just this makeshift backline. This match is so tough to predict.
Yeah, it is. It is. Looking for me on this one, I banked this match on the over 2.5. I got it at minus 148 on Monday, and now it's down to minus 122. So obviously, Son coming out of the lineup really hurt us here. I'm sticking with it. I love RB Leipzig's lineup as far as going forward. I think they're looking for goals today with Tottenham, being not the greatest defensive team. Patrick Schick is going to lead the line, great forward with Werner flanked to his left, and Kunku is going to sit behind him. And if you'll notice, there's no Forsberg. And lately, they have not been playing Forsberg. They've been leaning on Kunku. He's been very good this year. He's a box-to-box type midfielder, but they like to play him a little bit forward. And Mukiele is playing the fullback. I thought he was going to be out for Leipzig. He is extremely good on the wing and getting the ball forward as a wingback. But yeah, it really rests on the defense here. I think Tottenham, they need somebody to step up today that can bury a chance. They need it. They don't have a natural forward in their lineup. They're going to be looking to Dele Alli to do something, in my opinion. They're going to need him in a big way today. I think you will see Lo Celso on the wing. Dele Alli is going to play kind of as a second striker behind Lucas. You're going to see Lucas get to the left and to the right. He's going to drift to one side of the pitch to open it up for Dele Alli to get central and get a goal. I think that's what they're going to do. You're going to see Tottenham hold some possession. They're not going to want to do it. I think Leipzig are going to kind of soak it up. Looking at RB Leipzig's defense, it's an issue. You touched on it. Mpadu, ex-Chelsea player, he usually plays defensive midfielder for them. He hasn't really sat and played that center half position. He's being forced into it today in the middle, so he's going to be controlling that defense, which is an issue. He's still a young player, hasn't been in this position before, hasn't played Champions League in this position. It's a lot to put on him. I still think this one's going over. I think Leipzig will win the match as well. I really, really think so. They are now the favorites as well to win the match. So
yeah,
that's really mine out.
I have to say, I'm not put off by this line movement at all either. I'm going to log in right now. I'm going on to DraftKings here. I'm taking both teams to score in over 2.5 goals, minus 104 here for 1 unit. I'll also tweet that out here shortly. I'm sticking with my original thought on this fixture. And guess what? If this one doesn't hit, I'm going right back to it in the second leg in Germany. So I won't be put off by that. Even with this Son news, I think that both teams find the score sheet here. It's just, are we going to see Mourinho park the bus here? Are we going to see, is Mourinho going to try to keep it tight for the second leg? That is the biggest question. Or is he going to go guns blazing here at home? I see Brian Yoler's comment. He still likes Tottenham's lineup here. I still lean Tottenham. I do. I had a draw no bet here. And if that one does come in, then I don't really lose anything on my back and forth pick'ems there that I was talking about earlier. But I still lean Tottenham here. Just because they're a more senior side, senior manager at home, that kind of just all adds up to me. But I still think that Leipzig get on the score sheet here. Tottenham under Mourinho, you would think that he would come in and fix this defense, but it's been the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Not playing like the normal Mourinho way. Now in a knockout stage, we might see that type of approach, but minus 104 on both of these teams with their quality to score a goal and go over 2.5. I think it's worth a nice punt here.
Yeah, no, I agree. And kind of touch on it. The reason I like Leipzig so much in this match, it's going to come down to Timo Werner. He's going to play more on the left, and who's playing the right back for Tottenham? It's Serge Aurier. Has been horrific defensively for 2 years now. He has been so poor, and they're going to be relying on him to slow down Werner. He will have help with Sanchez on the side, but Sanchez hasn't been great this year either. They're both questionable with their decision making at the back. Timo Werner is going to get a goal today. I mean, he is going to get a goal. I completely believe in that. I see 3-1. I see 3-1 to Leipzig.
Wow. I know that you put in kind of like a little fun parlay that's still really live.
I did. I put in a parlay personally, a quarter unit. I put a $25 on Dortmund to win, Atalanta to win the first half, and RB Leipzig to win the match. So looking at a return of 371 or 372, I believe, if that hits for a quarter unit. And I'm that's why I'm pulling for him today. But the toughest mark of that is already out of the way. We got the Dortmund winner. I mean, we're looking pretty good.
You're going to want to really be paying attention then on your book here today to see if Atalanta do come out in that first half, you can hedge in the second half. Hedge out a little bit. You can automatically make $50 or you can make, 320 or whatever.
That's exactly.
So that's kind of where I would be looking. I would definitely be looking for
my head is going to be focused on that Atalanta match for the first half. Absolutely. And you'll be able to tell at halftime how I'm feeling. And also make sure you tune in at halftime, because yesterday I can't remember. I'm pretty sure you were pretty money as well, but I said, which everybody in the world said as well, Liverpool were probably going to lose at 1-0. And then also I leaned on the both teams to score in the second half.
Yeah.
That was money. I mean,
I took a small shot on both teams to score yesterday in the second half, and we talked about that. So we will definitely be back here in the second half. We're watching both matches at the same time, and our eyes are going to give us a second half play here for the folks out there. Yeah. We cashed. We're 1-0 thus far on second halves. We're going to bring another play here. We're going to find some kind of value in that second half no matter what. So definitely want to tune in there. Also, Europa League is checking back in here soon. Cody, you and I are doing a podcast on that tonight. So I'm really excited for that. I've been breaking those matches down all day here. I think I've got 2 or 3 pretty solid looks that I'm going to be talking about here. So really pumped for that. Should we get a little City West Ham check here?
Oh, yeah, City West Ham. I looked at that earlier today. I mean, City by 2.5 goals, posted total at 4. I wasn't going near that. And West Ham's lineup was dreadful. I don't even know what the score is.
It's the under 4, what we talked about. It's just it's holding steady right now.
It's nil?
It's nils after 20 minutes. I noticed Laporte is pairing with Otamendi. So that's something really to pay attention to. See how Laporte gets on today. Man, this City lineup is
and West Ham put out the most defensive lineup they could possibly put out. They sat Lanzini, Haller, Felipe Anderson. I mean, it's defense. So
I like when they go with Cresswell at a left center back, and then they play Mazuaku at the left wing back. Just those two lefty combos that Cresswell is generally a traditional left back. But yeah, I mean, this is a decent lineup for West Ham to be able to sit in here for as long as they possibly can. I'm loving City's lineup too, man.
Oh, I thought the City lineup was the best lineup they could put out.
This is probably the lineup here. This, other than maybe, it'll be interesting to see who pairs Laporte at the Bernabeu, but other than that, I think that this is what the lineup you're going to see in Madrid this time next week. Maybe Cancelo over Walker. Doubtful, I would say.
Walker's much better defensively.
could maybe see Mahrez over. I would rather go with, if I'm them, I'd stick with Jesus and Aguero and Bernardo up top.
I think it's Mahrez. Mahrez typically plays every Champions League match.
Yeah, I would rather have Jesus. I think Jesus is so talented. He's not just a central striker. He can play anywhere across that front three.
The only reason I see Mahrez playing is his work rate defensively is miles ahead of Gabriel Jesus. That's the only thing. But
Brian likes Steven Bergwijn today, maybe on the counter as an anytime goal scorer. I'm sure you're seeing way over 2-1 on that. So
way over. I think Dele Alli's going to get 3 goals.
That is a pretty nice shout here. Got a couple more minutes left here, Cody. Anything else really that piques your interest today?
Today, it's really not. I see goals in both. More so in obviously the Tottenham Leipzig match. If you want to circle back to Atalanta and Valencia, I mean, the one worry that I would have is if Valencia's midfield really gets set in and if they really hold the ball, don't turn the ball over much, you could have a worry there. But the thing is, if Valencia turns the ball over at the half line or their third, they're gonna get smoked. You do not turn the ball over in the midfield against this Atalanta team, and they got to hope they don't do that. That's pretty much But at an angle, pretty much laid it out there.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely be rooting on the Italians today. Not at their famous Stadio Atleti Azzurri d'Italia, but it is at the San Siro, correct?
Yeah, it's at San Siro.
At the San Siro. We've watched a few matches there recently. That pitch is
That's the thing. That saw 2 matches back-to-back last week. I believe one of them played there at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It had to have. Mm-hmm. And you're seeing another one. That pitch could be in rough shape, but
that is the one thing that's sketchy. 3 consecutive matches at San Siro with a decent to below average pitch at best. 3 consecutive have gone under the number there. That pitch looks like it's moving slow. It's not what you want when you're a top class footballer at all.
No. And that hurts Atalanta. They play it on the ground.
That does.
It could prove Valencia hoof the ball forward.
That could be a big deal. Seriously. So hopefully our wagers cash. Folks, we will see you in about 45, 50 minutes here to give you a second half look, give you some first half analysis. My name is Matt Lawrence. You can find me on Twitter at MattJ_Lawrence. This is Cody Gelhausen, a.k.a. The Squid. You can find him on Twitter at SquidsPicks. Guys, this is the Bloker Joker family here at Pub Sports Radio. Thank you so much here for tuning in, and best of luck on your wagers.
Adios.